All right, I believe we are live. Hello, everybody. My name is KonceptioN2. I'm going to be running Bugsnax. I'm going to be running the PlayStation 5 version of the game, which is, pretty fancy, pretty new, got that newfangled technology, so I'm very happy to be here to support this excellent cause for Animalthon here. I'm going to select the new game, but the time does not start until the scene loads in, so I'll try to time it with a nice countdown, and I'll try to explain as much as I can. This game is very short in the any percent category, and it is very broken, so I might be talking just constantly, just to explain everything that I'm doing. But first, let's let's go into the save file. I'll try and give you a good countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so we are playing as what is called grumpuses. They're kind of like, beings with legs and arms and paws, for lack of a better term. And we're actually a journalist grumpus who's trying to investigate what's going on this island called Snacksburg, basically, or Snacktooth Island. And basically we're gonna go out of bounds and skip the entire intro. So there's an invisible barrier here. We're gonna hop on that. It's a nice buttery parkour movement, jumping across the treetops here, and we skipped an opening cutscene and an opening sequence entirely. There's Philbo, who's kind of like the mayor of the area, but we're gonna skip by him as well. And then we're going to hop on some exterior geometry here, and voila, we're into the loading zone early. Goes quick, I know, goes quick. And here we are in the second area, which is Garden Grove. Now, Garden Grove, we cannot get into the load zone area for the next area early. It's one of the only areas in the game that we can't do that. So we actually have to do Garden Grove, quote unquote, as intended, but we're going to be doing it rather quick. What we need to do is we need to capture 4 different Bugsnax in this area. We need to capture 2 Shishka bugs, 1 bunger, which you see right in front of you. That's not the one we're going to catch, though. We're going to put that one in its little pen, and then we're going to also catch a Frieder. Frieder is the annoying one, unfortunately, and a Shishka bug can be pretty annoying too, actually. So we're gonna actually bait the bunger to go over there. We're gonna shoot that tree with ketchup, shoot that Shishka bug with ketchup, finish that quest, and then we're gonna jump down, turn around real quick, and shoot a ketchup over there to attract the Frieder as well. Now bunger just hit that Shishka bug into my trap for me. Frieder's gonna get attracted to that ketchup. I'm gonna try and catch it quick. Didn't quite get there, that's fine. That's why we get a backup. Yeah, what I do there is I grab a nope, that's not gonna make it. I grab an extra backup ketchup just in case that happens, because it's pretty tight of a window to grab it, so it can be a little bit frustrating. But now we got all of the bugs we need. Bugsnax, rather. And if you haven't played Bugsnax before, they are exactly what they sound like. They're bugs, and they're snacks. So the reason why we catch all of these is to complete Wambus's here quests. He has various quests for all of these bugs, so we just preemptively catch them, and then we just turn in all of his quests at once, basically. The game intends for you to get that net for Wambus and then catch a bunger, but the way we had it set up, since we shot a ketchup into the tree, it attracted 1 bunger, and then when we had the other bunger tackle the Shishka bug into our trap for us, that bunger also went over to the tree, which created a little bit of a log jam there, and they end up bumping each other, which when they bump each other, they get dazed and you can catch them in your trap.
It says right. It also.
This is Beffica. We jump around Philbo there a little bit so we can get to the journal early. That way we don't have to trigger the cutscene and then go get the journal, which takes a little bit longer. And this is just like a tutorial section on how to use your menu, which we can't skip, unfortunately. Oops, there we go.
See, I haven't.
Gotta go a little too fast there. All right, and now we're in Snacksburg. Alright, so Snacksburg is kind of like the centralized hub of the game. So from here, there's a lot of areas that branch off. What you're meant to do is go to each individual area that opens as it opens, get the grumpuses to return there because they've all escaped to various parts of this island. And then once they're all back, you can start completing the game. However, we're going to get into basically the last unlockable area as soon as we possibly can. And when we do that, the game assumes that we got there the way we were supposed to, so it gives us all the tools we need, And then, you know, basically we can just go right into the end game sequence from there. By scrolling, you can actually scroll through that section a lot faster, but it didn't give me the optimum amount of speed. So we're gonna go out of bounds again, pretty much twice in a row here. So first we're gonna jump up here, jump on these rooftops, and then we're going to leap across here. Oops. There we go. So now we're into an area called Sugar Pine Woods early. And then, so this is not even the last area that we want to get to. There's another area past Sugar Pine Woods called Frosted Peak, which we're also going to get into early. So we're going to jump up here, and then we're going to jump out of bounds yet again. Oops, not quite. Oops. Come on, get up there. There we go. And then we're going to jump up here. Voila. Now we're in Frosted Peak early. And then we're going to have yet another, this one is actually not an out of bounds, it's actually a clip. So what you're meant to do here is there's going to be a big door that we're meant to solve the riddle of by pressing down on the plates and unlocking the door and doing everything properly, which we'd have to do by investigating a lot of areas on the island and solving clues and stuff like that. We're not going to do that. We're going to clip right through the door. So we're going to go up here. This is a result of the game thinking, you know what, you got here, that means you should have all the tools, therefore we're going to give you all the tools, and then you just use them to clip right through the door like that. We use the launch pad to get us up on some geometry on the door, and then we use the trip shot there as a barrier. And what we do is we launch the trip shot to the side, and then we use the like suction cup, lack of a better term, part of the trick shot to basically collide us into the door and force us through, therefore clipping. And then from this point forward, this is actually what the game intends for the most part. We're actually in what we call the in-game sequence, or more specifically, we're about to be in what is called the Gauntlet. Right now, we're in the area that's called the Snacks. You can see all the food on the walls, and then whatever this juice is, I'm going to assume it's juice because everything is like, you know, food based. I don't want to assume it's anything else because that would be a little bit disturbing. But there's nothing you can really do to make this go faster. The fun thing is we know from the developers of this game, which are Young Horses, that there's some way that we can clip out of bounds or do something here to expedite this process. The developers have given us a clue into that regard that we can, but we've been trying, we cannot find anything. So, you know, if anyone wants to get wild and try and figure out how we can cut down this, you know, really short run to an even shorter run, that would be excellent. Because this is kind of like the last piece of the puzzle in terms of the any percent run. I also run other categories of this game as well. So right now I run this category, 80%, and I also run the no major skips category, which another way that we call it in the Bugsnax speedrunning community. It's basically like no loading zones early, basically. So we do a little bit of like cutscene skips and stuff like that, but we don't get into any load zone early, which means that we basically, you know, play the game almost as intended. This is Eggabell. This is Lisbert, by the way. You know, there's a lot of lore that you've missed here by me jumping through and cutting through everything. But, you know, it happens like that sometimes.
Hey, don't worry.
We both okay.
We can actually, there's actually a little piece of speed tech here, so we're gonna mash the talk button as well. Because we haven't talked to Eggabell yet, the game gets a little bit confused. It actually triggers the loading zone early because it's trying to talk to Eggabell as if it were the first time, but also, you know, do the end game part where we get thrown over the cliff there. So it gets a little bit confused. It actually triggers the loading zone like 2 to 3 seconds early. Oh, come on. Get up there. Get up there. There we go. Got a little jammed up there. So now we're rushing over to the Gauntlet. We got a little bit of cool buttery parkour movement here if I don't mess it up. Let's see if we can do it.
Snacksburg as fast as we can. We can't let the others eat any more bugs.
Oh yeah, we got it. Okay, great. So this is a little bit faster than jumping all the way down and then taking the bridge back up. We just scale across the treetops there, jump across onto the rocks and over to the trigger area. So now what we have going on is what, like I mentioned, we call the Gauntlet. The reason why it's called the Gauntlet is that there are all of the grumpuses that we have saved, and I say that in quotes because we haven't really saved anybody, but all the grumpuses we have saved are defending the island from Bugsnax, who are, you know, who have turned on us. I'll let it remain, you know, secretive as to why, but they've turned on us. They're starting to attack us. So basically we're going to get different versions of our tools, and we have like 5 little what I call mini games, for lack of a better term, that we have to complete using these tools, one for each, you know, each major tool that we use. So first off, we have the snack trap, which is now the snack chop. We're gonna throw that down, and instead of capturing the Bugsnax, it chops them up. And then we can get that. We're gonna position ourselves here. No, is that gonna reach? No, because darn. That's unfortunate. We can actually do that quite a bit faster than I just did it, but I got a little bit unlucky. So what we try to do there is we try to jump down early while we're smashing the last Bugsnax so that we can get to this area a little bit faster. But I did it just slightly too early, so Philbo was like, hey, where are you going? And then because of that, I wasn't able to close my trap on the last of the strawbies there. So I had to run back up, close my trap on the last strawbee, and then come back down. Little slow, but not a big deal. Here we got a... what is usually a snack claw, whoops, and but we put a little, you know, punching glove on the top of it there, and we're using it to punch instead of capture. We do that section early. They're meant to pop up, and then you know, and then we hit them out of the air. But if we target where they launch out of, and then, you know, shoot as they're launching out, we can actually kill them a little bit early. And then with those what are they called? Give me a second. The contests. There you go. I forgot the name of the Bugsnax. The contests. What we aim to do is we shoot one of each at Floofty and Shelda there, so that they collide into them, and then they have to eat some of the snacks as they explode onto them, which expedites that process a little bit more. Now this section is just tripwires. There's not really anything you can do to slow this down. So basically I just, you know, kind of go through the motions, but even if I like missed a tripwire or something like that, it's still all based on cycles. So, you know, some of these cookies or whatever, cookies, I think what they're called, they can still come up and then still attack, you know, Chandlo and Snorpy here. It's fine. It's all on cycle spawn, so it's not going to even waste any time. The only thing I could do to waste time is if I messed up the last 2. So this one, and then there's one more. That would waste some time, but it's again really hard to do that. We're gonna do a little bit of speed tech here as well, so we're gonna launch the last line, and we're actually gonna jump and try and get wedged in some geometry here, and it looks like we did so successfully, because that puts us closer to the next game automatically. So it's ever so slightly optimal. Now this is the worst game. What we do is we launch barrels at Bugsnax in order to defeat them quickly. I'm actually gonna focus to try to do this as fast as I can. So sorry if there's a little bit of silence here. Okay, so we get three waves of the cheap hoofs here, and then we're gonna have grape skeetos after this. Waves of them as well, and it's all about just placing your markers so they can, you know, get all 3 in one wave simultaneously. That's the idea, at least. So we're gonna have a wave of cheap hoofs. Okay, that happens sometimes. Not a big deal though, as long as we can get this off too. Great. So that actually didn't lose any. Oh, never mind. I thought I hit that one. Never mind. We did lose time. I thought I hit both the cheap hoofs at once. I was like, wow, I didn't lose any time, except it did, unfortunately. That's fine. Just a couple seconds. Not a big deal. So that was an alright barrels besides that one last thing, and that can happen. I don't exactly know what causes it, but on that last wave of grape skeetos before that wave of cheap hoofs that got messed up, for some reason when the middle cheap hoof spawns, it can be destroyed by the remaining, you know, juice, I guess. I don't really know what's in the barrels on the ground, so it throws off the ability to be able to kill them all at once, because it's kind of dependent on being able to use the middle one as an anchor. You can still kill them at once, you just have to time it very well so that the left and the right Chief are, you know, very close to each other. Which I thought I did, but I didn't quite get it, so it was fine. This one is also a pretty self-explanatory skill. We got a spike ball here, they're coming out of the ground. We're going to just roll over them. The spawns are the same every time, so you can kind of memorize where they're going spawn-wise. Which makes this game pretty easy. It's going pretty well so far. I had one little hiccup, but it didn't really waste any time. There we go. We got 2 more waves. So this is the last of the crapples. Then we got 2 more waves of peel bugs here. 1 and 2. Great. So that went pretty well. And then the last of the Gauntlet mini games here revolves around using this our sauce slinger with special sauce to get Bugsnax to run into each other.
Learned a few things since the Stone Age.
Well, what do you want me to do? I won't let them take my garden.
And we can't really, unfortunately, you can't skip through this text. I don't know why exactly, so you get the full voice lines, which is great because this game is full of excellent voice actors. Speaking of, I highly suggest everyone just play this game. I'm playing it on the PS5 version. It's also on PC, it's on PS4. It's just a really great game. Very cozy, very comfortable to play. These spawns are also always the same, so that's why I know where to put the sauce here. That might be a little far, we'll see. See if they'll still take it. It's like right on their spawn point. It did. Okay. That worked out. And then we're gonna throw one here and here as well. Boom, boom. Great. That should be it. Great. So there's not really anything in terms of speed tech left in the run. We basically just have to get to the end game. So we're gonna be running here. We're going to be in a long cutscene where we sail away on a boat with everybody.
Okay.
Being attacked by giant Bugsnax and whatnot. And then there's one last little segment on the beach where we just have to go and talk to Philbo and trigger the end game. So we're actually getting really, really close to the run, end of the run. I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on for the Animalthon here and raising money for this excellent cause. You know, saving a zoo is always worth it. Be sure to get your donations in if you haven't already. I know it's a tough time for everybody, but if you are able to contribute, you know, we appreciate it very much. It is for a great cause, as I mentioned. All right, so like I said, we're just gonna be running along the beach here. And you can actually mess this up a little bit in speed tech wise. I actually did in my my PB, which I got just a couple days ago, by not scrolling down in time there. It actually loses like 3 seconds if you if you try to you know, you try to scroll fast but don't, and then he says, okay, I guess you're not ready. So you just get thrown back into into the beach with everybody else there, so it can actually lose some time. But here it is. Time is actually getting ready to come up right after this cutscene.
Don't worry, you're fine. This also.
And time. And that's Bugsnax for you. Like I said, thank you so much for everybody watching this run, supporting the zoo, getting your donations in. Thank you to Bullets for having me, and thank you to the organizers of this amazing marathon. Thank you to NASA for hosting it. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes. If you like this, I run Bugsnax quite a bit. Like I said, multiple categories. You can follow me, twitch.tv/KonceptioN2, if you'd like to see some more of that. And if you're interested in Bugsnax speedrunning, there's a subreddit, so you could do r/Bugsnax speedrunning. And then if you visit speedrun.com/Bugsnax, you can get set up with not only resources to learn these runs, but get set up with our Discord, so you can join. We're a great bunch, and we're very helpful if you want to learn any of the categories we have going on. But other than that, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And get those donations in to save the animals.